friends, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another Tumbler tutorial. In this video, we're going to make a wavy line tumbler design. I know, shocker to see from me, but we're going to start out with our tumbler already glittered and epoxied. This is a like Franken mix of glitter that I have. It's a lot of my custom mixes that I've done mixed together. So I've got that on my tumbler. I've got 2 coats of epoxy over it. So our cup is totally smooth and ready for our pattern. And we're just going to jump right in here. So what I'm going to do is take 2 different patterns of vinyl. These are from the March Glam box from Glamour Tribe Vinyl. So we've got the cute little clouds, and then we've got this zigzag or chevron pattern. And I bought this tumbler template on Etsy. I will link it down below for you along with the vinyl patterns. But as you can see, it's kind of like a sand art type of pattern. So what I did when I imported this into my Silhouette Studio, using the eraser tool, I'm going to erase the lines connecting all of these wavy lines. So you can see we've got one solid shape up top, and then you can kind of see there's 3 sections of wavy lines, and that's what we're going to cut out of that pattern vinyl. So I'm going to erase the outer lines in between, and then we can cut out 2 of those wavy line shapes using the chevron vinyl, and then we'll do the one in the middle. That's going to be the cloud vinyl. Now, if you wanted to, you could cut this template out twice, just like with the whole sheet of vinyl, especially if you're going to make this design more than once. You can just cut it out, and then you've got all of these shapes to work with. But I wanted to just make this one time. I didn't want to make it multiple times. So I just separated these out so that I can not waste my pattern vinyl and just cut out what I need. I've done a little bit of sanding on my cup just to make sure that it is totally smooth before we apply our wavy lines. And what I'm going to do is start out with our topmost wavy line. And as you can see, I didn't weed away the part of this particular wavy line with the straight edge on it. So there is a little piece, it's really hard to see on camera because the pattern's so busy, but the top portion of the wavy line is actually wavy. It's not a hard straight edge, but I didn't remove that excess vinyl because I wanted to use that straight edge as a guide for placing this on the top rim of my tumbler. I wanted to make sure all of my spacing worked out and that all 3 of these will fit on the cup nicely. So I used that straight edge to position my vinyl in place, and then I will remove it kind of as I'm applying this wavy line to the tumbler, which you'll see in just a little bit. I'm gonna just get that right out of there once my vinyl is all lined up with that tape and everything. And now I can smooth the rest of the wavy line onto my tumbler the same way that we would with like a regular vinyl stripe or like a vinyl sheet or something like that. The nice thing about applying wavy lines like this is that if your stripes are a little wonky, like if you didn't put this down perfectly straight, it's okay, because especially with some brands of pattern vinyl, Glamour Tribe being one of them, they're very, very easy to work with. They're super flexible. They're not that like thick, not pliable vinyl material that you have sometimes. This is super easy to kind of stretch and mold and make it look like you fit it perfectly, even if you didn't. So now that I've got that first stripe on, I'm just going to eyeball the spacing, but I wanted to make sure that that top wavy line was positioned correctly so that we kind of have enough room for the rest. And then I'll just make sure that all of my seams line up in the same spot on the tumbler so that we don't have any like random seams throughout the whole design. That will also help me with my spacing and like the alignment of all the shapes and everything. You'll notice that as I'm smoothing these wavy lines down onto the tumbler, I'm just using my fingers. I'm not using a vinyl squeegee or anything, because when there is glitter and epoxy on your tumbler, it's not going to be perfectly straight and even and smooth like it would be if you were doing this on just like plain stainless steel. So I like to use my fingers so that I can really smooth the vinyl on, really work with it and kind of get a feel for how it's laying on the cup, if that makes sense. So that's why I'm not using my tried and true felt edge squeegee for this. Once all of your wavy lines are applied, you can do a coat of epoxy if you would like to seal everything in and make sure it's all smooth before you add the striping around your wavy lines. I chose to just go right into the striping, but if you want to do a coat of epoxy, you absolutely can. So this file does come with the outlines, and I just did the same thing. I erased those outer lines to make sure that we were cutting individual strips rather than like a whole entire template that we would have to work with. So I cut these out of this kind of like bronzy gold glittery vinyl. I'm sorry, I have not a clue where this is from, but you can use any sort of vinyl. I wanted to try and use something other than the champagne gold textured metallic vinyl that I always use, trying to think a little bit outside the box and use something different. Although I really would have loved to use that on this design, I wanted to use something different than what I'm always using. So what I'm doing here is taking these strips and matching them up with their wavy line shape, and I'm putting the vinyl on the outside edge of the vinyl strip so that we don't have any you can't see the seam or the edge of the pattern vinyl underneath the glitter vinyl because I didn't do a coat of epoxy. If you do a coat of epoxy over your pattern vinyl before you do the striping, that won't really matter. You won't be able to see anything, and you can use any sort of vinyl you want. I felt pretty confident using this really thick glitter vinyl that you weren't going to be able to see the seams anyway, but putting them on the outside of those pattern vinyl wavy lines the best I could helped minimize that as well. All right, so after those were placed, I did add a coat of epoxy here to make sure that we were totally smooth and ready for our decal application. I'm using the Flynn Sisters Supply Shop Artist Cure epoxy here, and this coat was about 20 milliliters. So I let that cure overnight, and now I'm ready to apply my decal. The decal I'm using is from Lettered by Stephanie. I will link the Etsy page down below if you want to use this exact same file. And I decided that I wanted to make this a multicolored decal, so I've got my opal chrome offset. This is from TECKWRAP Craft. And then I've got another little piece that I'm using, another pattern from the Merch Glam box. I'm going to use that for the celebrate little word in the decal. So I just cut the offset out of the kind of like the inverted version of the cloud vinyl that we use in our wavy lines. I thought that would be a cute little touch. And then we've got some light pink vinyl, and then we've got some colorful pearl white vinyl also from TECKWRAP Craft. If you don't want to make this a multicolor decal, I know they're kind of tedious and they're hard to do. If you don't want to, you definitely don't have to, of course, but I think they just add a little bit of extra oomph. I think they always look so cute and they bring a lot of life and uniqueness to your design. So I'm going to do that. And of course, you guys know how I roll. I'm going to put this on piece by piece, even if it's the same color. I don't know. I just like doing it. You guys know I love my vinyl decals around here, so I kind of like to draw the process out a little bit because it's very relaxing for me. Now I used in the beginning this colorful pearl aqua vinyl from TECKWRAP Craft, and once I got it on the tumbler, I realized that it didn't contrast enough from my offset, so I took it right off. I did leave a couple little elements of it, like on the little doodles around the decal, on the little frame around the word come, so I kept that. But I took the rest of it off, and then I cut it out of the colorful pearl white vinyl to make it pop off of that offset just a little bit more. Now that our decal is applied, we can go into our final 2 coats of epoxy. So for the final 2 coats, as always, I'm using my Flynn Sisters Supply Shop Artist Cure epoxy. Each coat is about 20 to 25 milliliters, and I'm letting them cure about, like 12 to 16 hours in between each one. So once those final coats are cured, we are all done with this tumbler. I had so much fun putting this one together. I love these patterns from the March Glam box. They are all available now individually on the Glamour Tribe Vinyl website if you want to grab them. They are so cute, perfect for spring. I really, really love them, and I love how this cup turned out. And I hope that you liked the tutorial. If you did, you know the drill. Please give it a thumbs up down below. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel if you are not already, and let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I will see you in my next video. Okay, love you. Bye. Hello friends, thanks so much for watching this video. I want to say a huge special thank you to my elite fam, my channel members, and my subscribers. You all make this channel possible, so thank you so much for being part of the fam. If you want more exclusive content from me, you can join my elite fam at patreon.com/elitefam. You can find my tumblers and digital files on my website madebymalstudio.com. And if you'd like to follow me on social media, you can find me on Instagram at madebymal_studio. Here's another video for you to check out, and I'll see you soon. Thanks so much for watching. Love you. Bye.